Whiteboards are great tools for teaching and learning and planning your next heist. So here's how you can put a giant whiteboard in your house. Now, the first thing you're going to want to do is get a whiteboard out of a school and then keep it in your garage for about a decade because it's too big to fit on any of the walls in your house. Now, the whiteboard is 4 foot by 8 foot, and I have this wall that's only about 7 feet of space. So I'm going to need to cut that whiteboard down. The next thing you're going to need is a workbench. Put your whiteboard on there. Make sure you put it upside down so you can flip it over. Take the metal frame off the outside of the whiteboard. It's just some screws on the back, and then you just sort of pull the frame pieces off. When all of the frame is off, we'll measure where we need to cut this whiteboard because it's still too big to fit on that wall. Now, first thing I did was draw a line, and then I remembered I needed to put tape on the whiteboard before I cut it to keep any tear out from the cut. And then I remembered I need tape on both sides, so I had to flip it over. And then I needed to actually put the face of the whiteboard down, so I had to flip it over again and then measure and draw a line again. Now, this particular whiteboard is magnetic, which means it's just a thin sheet of metal on a wood back. So I used a jigsaw with a metal cutting blade. Now, I did use a level to make sure I had a straight cut, and I measured to make sure that my line was in the right spot, and I clamped my level down. And then what you want to do is make sure you run your jigsaw directly into the side of your work table. That will help your line stay nice and straight. As you can see there, perfectly straight. Once that's done, you just tap these metal frame pieces back onto your whiteboard. Some of them are going to be a little long. You can just cut those off and tap the remaining pieces back on. Put all the little screws in the back. Take a file off any sharp corners. Don't want anybody getting hurt. And then flip it back over. You might want to check and make sure you put the corners together correctly, because you might need to take the screws out and put it back together the right way. And as you can see, the whiteboard is shorter now, so it fits on this wall. I can use this whiteboard to learn all sorts of things and teach my kids some really important life lessons and life skills. Honestly though, whiteboards are a great tool, particularly for like kinesthetic learning styles or really active learning styles. It's a great way to learn. It's a great teaching tool. I'm really happy that I can finally put this whiteboard up in my house. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time.